How many more heartbreaks can this city endure? How many more seasons must we, the long-suffering faithful of the Toronto Maple Leafs, watch our championship dreams dissolve into dust year after agonizing year? For more than half a century, the Stanley Cup has remained an elusive phantom, a cruel taunt in the periphery of our collective vision. But what if I told you that the winds of change, though born from painful loss, are now carrying whispers of a bold, decisive move? A move that could finally be the answer to the question that haunts every corner of this hockey-mad metropolis: who will fill the void and lead us to glory? Get ready, because the Maple Leafs might just be on the verge of a gamble that could redefine their destiny. Toronto doesn't just breathe hockey, it is hockey. Every month, every opponent, every season carries the same immense weight. The Scotiabank Arena, always packed to the rafters, isn't merely a sports venue. It's a cauldron of raw emotions, sky-high expectations, and decades of accumulated frustrations. And as we look towards the 2025-26 season, that weight feels heavier than ever before. The off-season was anything but easy, marked by a seismic shift that sent shockwaves through the fan base: the departure of Mitch Marner. One of the team's main offensive engines, Marner's absence left a deep, gaping hole, not just in the numbers on the score sheet, but in the very heart of the team's identity. With every passing round of the regular season, the same urgent question echoes among fans, analysts, and even within the hallowed halls of the locker room. Who will step up to fill that void? Do the Leafs possess enough inherent strength to compensate for the absence of one of the league's most creative and dynamic players? Can superstars like Austin Matthews and William Nylander shoulder an even greater offensive burden? And, perhaps most crucially, will this team be able to generate enough goals to go toe-to-toe with the Eastern Conference powerhouses when the stakes are highest? It's in this crucible of uncertainty and desperate need that one name has begun to gain significant momentum, capturing the rapt attention of the media and igniting a spark of hope in the hearts of Leafs Nation: Ricard Rakell. Raquel, a 32-year-old veteran from Sweden, originally drafted by the Anaheim Ducks in 2011, currently plies his trade for the Pittsburgh Penguins. And what a trade it could be! After more than a decade in the grueling NHL, Rakell just concluded the most productive season of his career, a stunning resurgence that defied expectations. He recorded an impressive 35 goals and 35 assists, totaling 70 points in 81 games. These are not just good numbers, they are phenomenal numbers for someone many believed was past his prime, a player whose best years were supposedly behind him. More than that, Rakell averaged a significant 19 minutes and 18 seconds of ice time per night, taking on major offensive responsibilities and proving, unequivocally, that he is still playing at an elite level. It didn't take long for major outlets to start connecting the dots and speculating on a potential blockbuster. Sarah Sivian, respected voice writing for Bleacher Report, published a list in September of 6 bold trades that she believed could shake up the season. And right there, front and center, was Toronto. Her suggestion was direct and to the point. The Leafs should target Rakell as their next big move to strengthen their forward group. Sivian wrote, "Ricard Raquel is another Penguin that Dubas kept who could bring back a solid return. The 32-year-old winger has 3 years remaining at a reasonable cap hit and scored 35 goals last season. He would be a great addition to any playoff team that needs 1 or 2 more scoring threats to boost their top 6. And let's be brutally honest, that description fits the Toronto Maple Leafs like a glove, a custom-made solution to a glaring problem. Toronto notably struggled this summer, losing a prolific scorer and failing to find an adequate replacement in the chaotic free agency market. The math is simple, yet profound. If you lose a Marner, you must find an answer of equal or near-equal impact. And that answer, my friends, could very well come in the form of Rickard Rakell. Of course, Rakell isn't the only player from the Penguins roster to be linked to the Leafs. Winger Brian Rust has also been mentioned as a possible target, with interest reportedly coming from other teams like the Buffalo Sabres and Columbus Blue Jackets. But a closer comparison between the two tends to favor Rakell, especially when considering the Leafs' specific needs. While Rust also posted a respectable 167 points over the past 3 seasons, the exact same total as Rakell, his durability is more questionable. He appeared in 214 games, compared to Rakell's 233 over that same span. It may seem like a small gap, just 17 games, but for a team like Toronto, which depends on consistency to build rhythm, maintain momentum, and enter the playoffs in peak physical and mental form, that difference could be absolutely decisive. Rakell brings more than just raw numbers to the table. He isn't merely a finisher. He's a remarkably smart forward who possesses an innate understanding of how to move without the puck, how to create precious space for his teammates, and how to seamlessly adapt to different offensive systems. His career trajectory reflects that incredible versatility. In Anaheim, he often shouldered first-line responsibilities, serving as an offensive centerpiece, the focal point of their attack. In Pittsburgh, playing alongside generational talents like Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin, he reinvented himself as a high-level complementary player, proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that he can fit anywhere in any role and still produce at an elite level. That adaptability is precisely what makes the speculation so incredibly intriguing. How exactly would Ricard Raquel fit into the Toronto Maple Leafs' dynamic lineup? Analyst Michael D. Rosa from Hockey News has already begun to paint a vivid picture of this potential scenario. According to his insightful analysis, Rakell could effortlessly slide into the top line alongside Austin Matthews and Matthew Knies, creating a truly formidable trio. Imagine Matthews with his lethal, unparalleled shot, Knies, a young power forward bringing energy, size, and a growing offensive touch, and Rakell, with his wealth of experience, his scoring acumen, and his uncanny ability to find the back of the net. On paper, that trio could be devastating, a nightmare for opposing defenses. But even if Nylander were to push for a spot on the first line, Rakell could still anchor the second unit alongside John Tavares, adding crucial balance and giving the Leafs the kind of offensive depth they haven't had in years, a genuine two-punch knockout threat. The central issue remains crystal clear. The Leafs desperately need goals. They need someone who can step onto the ice and make an immediate, tangible impact. Someone who can alleviate some of the immense offensive weight currently resting on the shoulders of Matthews and Nylander, who simply cannot be expected to carry the entire offense alone, especially in the relentless grind of the playoffs. And Rakell looks exactly like that type of player. Diving deeper into his game, the Swede offers plenty of what Toronto currently lacks. He can be a potent option on the power play, always ready for quick-release shots from prime scoring areas in the offensive zone. He can play heavy minutes at even strength without becoming a defensive liability, a crucial factor for a team aiming for deep playoff runs. And perhaps most importantly, he provides what Toronto has long searched for in the trade market: reliability in the biggest, most pressure-filled moments. But, of course, there's always the question of cost. What would Toronto have to give up to acquire a player of Rakell's caliber? Pittsburgh, currently in a partial rebuild, would undoubtedly demand promising young players or high draft picks in return. The Leafs management would need to carefully weigh the inherent risk of trading away future assets for a 32-year-old, even one in such excellent career best form. It's a classic dilemma, a high-stakes poker game. Go all in on the present or meticulously protect the future. Even with that undeniable risk, the scenario is incredibly tempting, almost intoxicating. Picture a grueling playoff series against rivals like Boston or Tampa Bay. Matthews is smothered by relentless coverage, double-teamed, his space choked off. Suddenly, Rakell finds open ice on the weak side, a fleeting window of opportunity, ready to unleash the precise shot that decides a game, that swings a series, that finally breaks the curse. That's the type of difference-maker Toronto desperately needs, not just depth, but players who can genuinely tilt the ice in their favor when the pressure is at its absolute highest. And it's impossible not to compare this possible move to Toronto's recent soul-crushing frustrations. Season after season, the Leafs enter the playoffs with sky-high expectations, only to stumble, to falter, to fall short in the early rounds. Could Ricard Rakell truly be the missing piece, the final puzzle piece to rewrite that agonizing story? Could he be the vital link that transformed a good team, a very good team, into a true, undeniable contender? Fans in Toronto know nothing comes easy. Every rumor becomes a screaming headline. Every decision is magnified under an unforgiving spotlight. But maybe, just maybe, this is the moment to take that bold step to turn Marner's painful departure into a pivotal turning point rather than a sign of weakness. In the end, Ricard Raquel isn't just a name being tossed around in trade rumors. He represents a profound choice. The choice of a team that might finally decide to bet unequivocally on the present, to push all its chips into the middle, and perhaps, at long last, write a different victorious ending to its half-century saga. The real burning question is, are the Leafs ready to take that step? Toronto needs goals. It needs answers. It needs boldness. And Ricard Rakell could be exactly that. But is he enough? That's the question every single fan will carry every single day, until this thrilling story finds its ultimate conclusion. What do you think, Leafs Nation? Is Ricard Rakell the missing piece of the puzzle, or is the cost too high? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Your passion fuels this channel. And if you're feeling that surge of desperate hope, that tantalizing possibility, then hit that like button and share this report with every Leafs fan you know. This is your channel, and we want to hear your voice as we navigate this wild, unpredictable hockey season.